What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Dueling Pages podcast. We're back with Miller for like the fifth time, because he is more than meets the eye. He is. He's a complicated fellow. You look confused.
I'm sorry. There is nothing complicated about this man.
Oh. Sure, there is.
Don't say, that's not like a shot at you.
It is. You think I have no depth. You think I'm shallow, just like they thought.
No, it's not that I think you're shallow. It's that I think you are literally an open book.
This is the only thing I have in common with Megan Fox. We both are shallow, apparently. At least from this movie.
I was gonna say her character's actually pretty like.
No, it is, but like she makes the comment about how you must think I'm shallow. Like that's like.
Well, I mean,
she puts up that facade.
I was gonna say the only thing she had said 4 minutes before that is she's only into hot dudes with abs. So like maybe might be shallow.
Yeah, no, the dialogue
and then
in this movie sucks.
I immediately love in that moment Shia just being like, "Ah, yes, I'm gonna flex my zero muscles. Look at this." Yeah, there's some new stuff in this car, like this light. I put in this light bulb.
This movie is a lot of things.
Good
is
not
one of them. Is that the question?
One of them? No.
I mean, I don't know. I'm biased.
So am I. I grew up on this shit.
I know. Is the CGI is still fucking incredible.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't get talked about enough. Like everybody, when they bring up like CGI used to be so good, they always bring up the Pirates movies, which is fair. They should bring up Transformers more. This shit's incredible.
Yeah, no, it's a different level. Like I was watching on Amazon Prime Video, and you know how like when you watch on there, you'll get like the little pop-ups of like number one, the cast, and then number two, like fun facts about the movie. They said if you took all the bits that make up the Transformers in this movie, you'd be able to go to the moon and back, I think it was like 7 times, and still have enough to build 2 full Roman Colosseums.
Nice.
Like, it's unreal how much work gets put in. And this isn't even, like, the most incredible in terms of the CGI. Because you look at, is it Revenge? I think it's Revenge of the Fallen with Devastator, the big combiner where all the construction vehicles become the one big guy with the stupid fucking wrecking ball nuts. I hate Michael Bay's but no, like, the CGI in these movies are incredible. Like, I don't know. I could go on about that forever. The way the transformations look is beautiful and seamless.
It's also crazy because this has to be the least CGI'd Transformers movie of all of them because they spend almost no time as Transformers. They're just cars.
Yeah.
I did a time check. We've had a famous time check of when the droids take forever on Tatooine.
Yeah.
You know that. The time check here I did was when we get to Optimus Prime. It takes over an hour to get to Optimus. So, and I say that, like, I remember that being the beginning of the movie. And we don't get to the dam until, like, I think it was 38 minutes till the end of the film. And that's, like, when Megatron busts out. So it's like, this movie takes its goddamn time with it. And I do appreciate that it takes
I was going to say, this one feels better than A New Hope did, though. It's not it's so natural. Boring to wait that long. Whereas waiting for Luke to show, the fact that it takes Luke almost an hour to show up in A New Hope is fucking ridiculous, and I hate it. I will not get over that. It's so bad.
Yeah.
You have things to say. Please say them.
I don't know. This
be controversial. That's the point of the show.
He doesn't like how it portrays Optimus. That's I can tell you exactly what his problem is.
Well, no, I we'll get to that later. I just want to say off rip, I think my biggest complaint with this movie, just to rip the Band-Aid off, is I really do not give a fuck about the humans in this movie, and they want you to care about them so hard.
I care about
I don't
2 of them.
I just say I care about Sam and Michaela.
Sam's a dick, dude. I cannot stand Sam Witwicky. He is a dick. He is a self-centered, self-righteous prick.
He's also a 17-year-old kid trying to get laid.
I get that. I understand that. I just think that's a bad protagonist for a movie.
Well, that's literally, they build him as that, and then it literally changes at the end, with the entire point of the movie being him constantly sacrificing himself and completely changing.
Right.
and becoming a good person.
You got to remember, though, my brain can't just look at this movie in a vacuum. I'm looking at all of the movies together because I am like obsessed with Transformers.
I don't know if I remember any of the other movies.
He goes through this arc in every movie he's in, where at the start it's like, I only care about this one thing and I want everything handed to me and blah, 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 blah. And then at the end, he does something cool. I will say, though, he's definitely the better of the two protagonists, like throughout the Transformers movies. When they get to
Wahlberg.
I thought you meant compared to Michaela in this movie. I was like, what are you talking about?
She's the better character for sure.
Yeah.
But no, I'm talking about like the main character of the movies.
Yeah,
when they
yeah,
do the two with Mark Wahlberg. I can't stand him in those.
It's because it's Mark Wahlberg.
My main complaint with this trilogy is that it didn't focus on Michaela being the main character because she is so much more attuned to cars and she's a more interesting character than Sam.
Yeah.
If Sam was the love interest, this trilogy was so much better. Michaela being the main character should have been the way they went with it.
Hot take: she has more chemistry with Bumblebee.
She does.
The scene with the two of them with the tow truck. I bought their connection more than I bought any connection between Sam and B at any point in the movie.
As her connection. Like, I don't.
Bumblebee has connection with hot women.
It's Michael Bay and being afraid of. Is Michael Bay afraid of women?
Well, no, because
he's afraid of Megan Fox.
No, she's his self-insert. She's named after him, and her whole point is like how Michael Bay looks at his movies, where everyone knows them as all the big explosions, the cool CGI, but like Michael Bay thinks they're deep and like have meaning or whatever. And she's like, on the surface, hot girl, but deep down she has like.
But why is she not the main character?
Because Paramount was like,
because women,
boys.
He hates women.
2007. Because it was 2007. That's why she wasn't the main character.
If he was a good director, he would have pushed back and made sure she was. Yeah. So I stand by it.
That's why Bumblebee is the best Transformers movie.
Haven't seen it. I've seen all of the Sam Transformers movies, but it's just been so long that I don't remember any of them.
What pisses me off, though, if we're talking about like the franchise as a whole, she gets written off by the third movie.
Yeah.
And then Sam gets... It's so stupid. The first two are the only ones that I can actually like sit and watch and take seriously. The rest of them are awful. But like in this movie, I really, like I said, I don't care about the humans all that much. Like I like Transformers a lot more when it's either fully focused on the robots or when the robots are the primary and then like they have to deal with the hurdle of operating around humanity or having to keep the humans safe. Whereas in this one, it's like Sam taking down Megatron, that's so dumb. I don't care. I hate it. I think it's so stupid. Either they should have let him run away with his tail between his legs because that's what Megatron always does, or just let Prime take him down. It's so dumb letting the humans.
I kind of liked it though.
No, I like it because Optimus has faith in humans to also protect them as well as they protect him.
Sure,
and
sure.
it's
I like
literally
it from that perspective. That's a fair point.
If it was just Sam being like, yeah, well, I could kill Optimus and he could sacrifice himself, but also I'm closer to Megatron and I can just kill him. So it would have made no sense had he done anything else. But
no, agreed. And that's it. I'm not saying like Sam made a bad decision or anything. Like, the way it was written, absolutely, they handled the idea of Sam killing Megatron well. I just wish that wouldn't have been the idea. Like, that's my point with that. If they were going to go this route, they did it the best way possible, for sure. I don't like them in Transformers movies.
I just think you don't like them.
I want to see big robots. That's what I'm here
fair,
for.
I feel the same way about Godzilla movies when humans are, like, written, like, the first Godzilla film in 2014, the American one. I could give less of a shit about Elizabeth Olsen and Aaron Taylor Johnson, and you guys know how much I love.
I was gonna say that's a crazy statement from you.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
I love Elizabeth Olsen with my whole heart, and if I don't give a shit about her in a movie, and I just want to see giant lizard fight giant moth things, I'm choosing the giant lizard.
Yeah, and like even then, I don't mind the idea of the Transformers being with humans. I'm not saying the humans shouldn't be in the movie at all. I just think it should be less of a focus on them and more on the robots. Like, I would have liked to see in this movie them explore more the dynamics between the Autobots. Like, actually give Ratchet more than 2 lines and make Jazz a character other than Black Stereotype number 2. Or, and then killing him. That. Yeah, right, exactly.
Immediately.
Yeah, it's like, I remember watching this movie as a kid and sobbing when Jazz died. And then I watch it now and I'm like, why did I care? What did he do? Like,
yeah, he said 4 words and then died. I got genuinely confused because I forgot that he existed. So he's like, this is my first, like first lieutenant or whatever. And I was like, no, that's Bumblebee. Who the fuck is this guy? What happened here?
Like I'll put it this way. The scene where Sam and Michaela are in his bedroom looking for the glasses, I wish that would have been just from the Autobots' perspective and showing more of them like fumbling around in the yard, or Optimus being like, be quiet, like yelling at them, and Ratchet and Ironhide being fucking doofuses. Like, I like the dynamics they set up of like Ratchet and Ironhide having this like almost thing 1 and thing 2 thing going on, even though they're technically supposed to be 2 of the smarter bots. And then Jazz just kind of, like, it would have been really cool if we would have seen him like indulging more in human culture, because he very much seemed to be the one that liked what they had going on the most. That's just my way of trying to not make, like, because we know what he was supposed to be, but like on a more optimistic look. He just seemed to be the most in tune with human culture. Or like Bumblebee, kind of like prime example, a movie that does this a lot better, and I know I'm gonna get shit for saying this, Rise of the Beasts. They handled the human transformer dynamic way better. I fucking love that movie.
That movie, that's the worst one in my opinion.
I love Rise of the Beasts.
It is
so. Is Bumblebee able to talk in any of the other movies after this?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
They kind of bounce back and forth with it, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
They fixed his voice in Bumblebee. I know that for sure, because Still O'Brien voices him.
Yeah, for like 20 minutes, and then he gets his voice box ripped out.
True.
And then Rise of the Beast, they did so well by changing it from the radio station to drive-in movie quotes, because he gets to say, "Oh, Captain, my Captain," before he gets stabbed. Like, oh my god. I cried at that too. I love these movies.
Mila, I do have a lore question for you.
Okay.
Those so like the Autobots show up through those asteroids, but they seem like they've been there forever. What the fuck was that?
So, if I remember correctly, the way it's supposed to work in this universe, or at least this timeline, because technically speaking, the Bumblebee movie and then Rise of the Beast are like prequels, but not really prequels. Like, they change things. But specifically those Autobots, Optimus, Ratchet, Ironhide, and Jazz, weren't on Earth. They were out in space somewhere. And then, because at this point Cybertron is still alive, it ends up getting destroyed in a later movie. But like right now, if I'm remembering correctly, Cybertron is still alive. They're there. Bumblebee is like, hey, the Allspark's here, Megatron's here, come down here, we got to get this. And they're like, okay, because they're basically living in like the ruins of Cybertron. So then they come down, they meet with B, that's the whole plan. And then obviously they can't fix Cybertron because they destroy the Allspark. I'm going to double check.
I didn't know where they were, but I feel like the movie made it pretty obvious that they weren't there. That B was there the whole time. And then B, we literally watch him go send a signal into space, and then the asteroids come.
I understood that part. It was just like, they seem like they're so familiar with humanity already. That was why I was like confused, because they land 2 seconds
that's
ago.
Also said. They do the exact same thing. They learned all about humanity from the internet. They Ultroned it.
I was gonna say they Ultroned it.
They literally tell you, because Optimus literally said, we learned all about humanity from the World Wide Web.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
So everything I'm seeing just from like a really quick Google search, it looks like it's what I was saying. They come from Cybertron, and the whole Rise of the Beast thing is different. But yeah, I forget what I was gonna say, but there's your answer. They come from the planet, and then like I said, eventually in one of the later movies, they fucking kill the planet.
Well, technically, they killed the planet in this one.
Well, they fully kill the planet. They make it not exist anymore. Right now, it's just dead.
I was gonna say, and it can't come back because the Allspark is dead, or is gone. Is what they said.
They can go back. They just have what's going on.
But it just can't be
restore the planet.
But that it can never be restored, so it's just dead anyways. Okay. So that's what. Yeah.
But no,
I watched. I comprehended.
No, I get you. I was just trying to say, in one of the later movies, Optimus goes back to like the ruins.
Sure.
And then the planet that is dead literally I can't remember if it explodes or crashes or what, but it doesn't exist. Like, it completely goes bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even in space anymore after one of the later movies. I think it's The Last Night. It's whichever one Optimus gets turned evil by Quintessa, which was just so stupid. I'm done talking about those movies. I hate the last two. The last two make me sick.
I don't know if I want to watch more of these movies.
This Revenge of the Fallen is fun.
I remember that being the worst one.
I like Revenge of the Fallen more than I like Dark of the Moon. Dark of the Moon, they butcher Optimus's character in both of them, but Dark of the Moon, it gets worse. And then there's also just unnecessary death.
Well, Miller, in Revenge of the Fallen, there's Decepticon Hot Girl.
Decepticon. Oh, the girl who was posing as a. Yeah, no, I know. Like I said, it's not good. It's fun. It's not a good movie, but there's some stuff going on in it that I don't hate.
That's kind of like the thing about these movies is that I don't think I've ever heard someone say these were great movies. They're just really, really fun.
This is the only one I would consider like good. Revenge of the Fallen. Because Revenge of the Fallen, they also introduced Mudflap and Skids, which is just more racial stereotypes.
Yeah.
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay tempered it down in this one. He was like, okay, we can have, like, we'll kill them off relatively quickly.
I don't think anything was tempered.
No.
I mean, in this movie...
Mudflap and Skids are definitely worse.
I was saying...
Because they're not... I don't think they're stereotypes. I think they just are racist. I don't remember their voices, but I remember them being outwardly racist.
They're both, from what I remember.
I was gonna say because I'm looking at them through rose tinted glasses just to tick because of the toys. Like I had the little ice cream truck that split in half, and it was the two, and then I liked that they were the little Fiats or whatever the fuck they were, the tiny cars. And I remember I was like, oh, these guys are silly. These guys are goofy. I know if I watch this movie now, I'd be like, oh my God, kill them. Make them explode.
I'm pretty sure they're both. Just because
I definitely remember them being racist. Yeah. But yeah, I think... I don't know. I don't know where to pivot from here. Guys, this is your podcast.
So I got this. So this movie created one of... I know we all at least see clips of the Escape Pod podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And the clip of them talking about the most attractive a human's ever been in a movie. Mm-hmm. And famously, they all think it's Megan Fox in this movie, which fair enough. But now we have to have this same debate. Who all goes in this most attractive anyone's ever been in movie history? And why
we're doing
is
this
it
right
Megan
after
Fox?
Steven? We had Steven on for Kirsten Dunst.
Yes. So Steven says Kirsten Dunst in Spider-Man, the first trilogy. Of course he does. Right. You get it. Also, you get it. Megan Fox in Transformers. Scarlett Johansson in Iron Man 2.
Are you giving me options? Is that what we're doing here?
No, we're just saying like who we think and like in what movies.
Off, so I won't spoil anything.
Bro doesn't want us to see what he's looking at.
Because I'm trying to remember which movie it is, okay? Because I have someone who jumped into mind. And I don't think it's going to be
like I have one that's not it's not like particular eye candy, like how like Megan Fox is treated in a lot of this movie and how Scarlett Johansson is treated in Iron Man 2. That would be Elizabeth Olsen in Multiverse of Madness.
Of course it is.
I mean, fair. I'm trying to think if there's a different like Avengers movie where
I'm thinking just because that one scene where she like teleports into where like they're trying to protect the temple and she's like gets in that one guy's ear, like that scene was the first thing that popped out to me. No, seriously, that's the scene that like literally when you're like most attractive women in Hollywood. I'm like,
I didn't say just women.
Andrew Garfield 2001 then.
Of course.
It when people bring up Brad Pitt, they always say Fight Club. They say a bunch of those really early movies. Brad Pitt and Troy.
That's an early Brad Pitt movie, bud.
Yeah, but nobody brings up Troy, and that is by far the best one.
That's true. We did watch Troy a month or two ago, and I see it. I see the vision.
Also, the guy who played Hector in Troy. Also, I don't remember his name. In that specific movie, and only in that movie, yes.
Bro picked Hulk.
No, I didn't. I picked Hector.
All right. I've got mine. I've got two. And I want to say, full transparency, I have not seen one of these movies.
Okay.
So I can't speak for the full movie, but Bryce Dallas Howard in Argyle and in Jurassic World 2.
2?
Apparently 2. That's what I was getting from the internet.
Fallen Kingdom or just first one?
I don't know. I've never seen them, man. I'm just going.
You haven't seen Jurassic World movie? Neither has Geek. I can't be like, what the fuck?
The only Jurassic Park I've seen is the first one. I haven't seen anything Jurassic Park outside of that. And then the other one, oh my god, I literally lost her name.
I kind of get Bryce Dallas Howard, especially in 1. I guess 2 would make sense. I just remember. I don't remember exactly which. I remember 2 because of the fucking Velociraptor.
We're bringing up specific scenes. Natalie Portman, episode 2, but specifically the little date she's on with Anakin, black dress.
Where she denies him.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember we brought that up in the review because you cannot deny a man looking like that.
Right? You dressed like that for the date and then said fuck off and die. That doesn't make sense. Or maybe it does. You just wanted to look good. And you know what?
Fair enough.
Achieved, I guess.
Go off, Queen.
And then my other one is Lily James and Baby Driver.
Yeah.
Who the hell is Lily James?
She's the main love
She's
interest.
Cinderella.
She is gorgeous. And in that movie specifically.
I've also never seen Baby Driver.
Oh my god.
We gotta put that in the fucking list. I'm sorry. So I need to coach this man.
Baby Driver is so good.
I don't know if I've ever seen Lily James in anything.
Existing.
All right.
Margot Robbie in anything.
I'm trying to think.
Brie Larson in the Marvels.
I haven't seen the Marvels.
I saw it once, but I don't know. That one doesn't stand out in my head. Nothing stands out in my head.
I'm just going down my list right now.
I gotta.
Geek, we cover Fantastic. No, I'm my movie list. Dumbass.
Yeah, Jessica Alba and Fantastic Four. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I've got mine too.
Those are the only ones you're doing. You're not gonna continue thinking. You're just done.
I can't think of any off the top of my head. I mean, Natalie Portman in anything. I guess
that's fair.
There's my third one.
I don't know.
I can't think of anything else.
I gotta keep bringing up the ones they did. Because the funniest part about the clip of them is they mentioned 3 women and then only talked about dudes for 10 minutes, and it's hilarious.
I get that.
Michael B. Jordan in Black Panther.
Who? Sure. Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan. Oh yeah, Michael B. Jordan in anything, dude.
Yeah, but specifically in Black Panther.
I don't think that's his best looking role. I think you gotta go to Creed for Michael B. Jordan looking his hottest. Or also, Sinners. Sinners, he looks fucking.
Chris Evans in Infinity War with the longer hair and the beard. It's the best Chris Evans look. Best Cap look.
Yeah.
It's not really Cap. It's Nomad. Really.
It's Cap.
I was gonna say they don't call him Nomad in the movie. I know.
No, but
it's the Nomad suit and the Nomad look, but it's still Cap. He's still Cap.
I was gonna say in the comics, he explicitly is like, "I am no longer Captain America." At no point in those movies is he like, "I am no longer Captain America."
And there's not even somebody else portraying Captain America to try to be like, "Yeah, no, I'm not." It's still the government still called him Captain America. He's Captain America.
It's Cap. He's just not fucking with the U.S. for a bit.
Does he even have the star in that movie? I can't remember if he's got the star.
Yeah, but it's blacked out.
Yeah.
Or darkened.
Yeah, it's still like right here.
Because I think it's basically the stealth suit, but like just blacked out, basically.
Fair.
Trying to think of newer movies.
Now you're talking about men.
Well,
perfect for you, man.
Is that a problem, Grayson? Is there something wrong with this?
Robert Pattinson.
In what?
In
everything.
You know what? That's fair.
Yeah, no.
Twilight, even Twilight, he's hot.
He's literally sparkling. That's great.
But like in the Batman, I would say in particular, if you want to like pick a certain role.
I can't do that one because I think that's the worst haircut imaginable.
It's the makeup.
I was gonna say, makeup. I can't see him as like a good-looking human in that movie because I just see decrepit Bruce Wayne, which is like great. Yeah. That's what he's supposed to be, but I can't.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be the part of Batman where like he is fully Batman. Bruce doesn't exist anymore. He doesn't remember how to play that character.
Exactly.
What? I'm just scrolling through my list of movies I've seen and seeing if I like remember something.
Orlando Bloom in the Pirates movies. I know we touched on it when we did the Pirates movies.
Yeah, I know people enjoy that.
Brendan Fraser in The Mummy.
I was gonna say just The Mummy.
Yeah.
Period.
Fair.
I gotta remember.
Yeah, I'm just looking through every movie.
Ryan Gosling doing Ryan Gosling things.
Ryan Gosling in La La Land. Honestly, Ryan Gosling
and Emma Stone
in La La Land. Both of them look incredible in that movie.
It's always great when you just have a hot couple together in a movie. That's the best option.
I'm trying to think of which movie I want to go with here.
This is our Transformers.
I mean,
yeah,
there's only so much Transformers to talk about. Miller has a rant. Well, I have a rant.
Listen, that's the real question. Which Transformer looked the best? Who was the most attractive?
Are you asking which Transformer we'd fuck?
I'm asking which one you guys would fuck. Yeah.
In this movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's just say if you want to talk about all Transformers, it's
Are you gonna bring up the one that's not even from Transformers that you tried to trick me with?
No,
or not trying
no.
To
I was just saying that there's like this famous clip about like this guy who's like. When they're like asking what Transformers you fuck, you'd be like RZ from Transformers Prime, and then the Arachnid, wait, whatever her name is from Transformers Prime.
Arachnia.
Yeah.
And I don't think is she in Transformers Prime? I think Transformers Animated. Is she actually?
Or either one.
I don't think I've seen Transformers Prime all the way.
I'm thinking of one of them.
Is Black Arachnia? Oh my God, she is in Transformers Prime. I didn't know Black Arachnia was in it. I was just thinking animated.
That's the one animated Transformers show I've seen. So
Transformers Animated is peak, dude. It's like unironically to this day is still really good. Have you seen any of that? Because I was gonna bring something up, but if you haven't,
not,
then I'm not
animated, but I don't really. You could spout.
So I found this out today. Apparently, in Japan, Transformers Animated, which the Autobots in that movie, the main cast is Optimus, Bumblebee, Bulkhead, Ratchet, and Prowl, right? Bulkhead is like a big military vehicle, and then Prowl is a police motorcycle who is like a samurai personality-wise, and Bulkhead's just like a big bumbling idiot. Apparently in Japan, the first season of Transformers Animated is looked at as a prequel to the movies because they came out the same year.
Okay.
Which is funny because they don't like work in like, oh, by the way, they got Ironhide and Jazz later, and Prowl and Bulkhead went somewhere else. They just say, yeah, Bulkhead is Ironhide, Prowl is Jazz, and they run with it. And that is insane to me, which gets made even funnier because Ironhide shows up later on in Transformers Animated, like on Cybertron.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy. Plus, in that show, Cybertron is like still kicking and perfectly fine. And Optimus is like the whole bit for that show is they start off that group as like cleaners, basically. And then they get stranded on Earth with the Allspark. And that's, they become like heroes through that. So Prime is like a young upstart general type thing, I guess. A young upstart leader, as opposed to being like the grizzled goat that he is in this movie.
That
really
reminds
weird.
me of like
It's good,
MTV
though.
Spider-Man's animated show, where it's like it took place between 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Like canonically, but it makes no sense because Mary Jane's goth in that show, and
Is that the crazy CG one?
yes,
Like 3D
with Neil
animated
Patrick
one?
Harris voice of
Yeah.
Spider-Man, yeah.
Yeah, that I've seen stuff from it, but I've never seen it.
I'm also in
That's what
this
I grew up
episode.
on.
I just
Big
pulled the
talk,
Miller
man, God
thing
damn it.
of did the Miller thing of I'm also in this episode.
Yeah.
Sorry, me and Miller apparently know how to nerd out on weird animated shows from the mid 2000s.
Well, no, Transformers animated isn't weird. That shit's peak.
No,
obviously
I'm saying,
not.
like,
if it's supposed to tie in
classic.
with the
Weird
movies
lore
and
behind
everything
it.
about it is wrong.
Only in Japan. In every other country, they don't do that. It's just in Japan they made that decision for some reason.
Oh.
But in like the States, it's not like that. In UK, Australia, etc.
Okay. Crazy. I don't know how do you make a decision in one that doesn't make any sense.
Well, to be fair,
Translation.
Transformers translation number 1, number 2. Transformers originates from Japan technically.
Oh, so the correct version says that the show that gets everything wrong.
Well, no, because at this point, because what Transformers like as a brand is like a. I think the best way to put it is like a U.S. interpretation of something that Japan had that
like
flopped.
Power Rangers. But
No,
not because Super Sentai flawed.
Oh, I thought you meant it was based. I get what you say. You're comparing it.
Yeah, he's saying Power Rangers is based on
a Japanese property that's made for American audiences.
Yeah. So there was a toy line that flopped in '83, with literally the same figures. It was the same exact Transformers, except they didn't have names or personalities. They were like D1, D2, D3, and so on and so forth.
Is that why they name
Marvel? With IDW Comics got a hold of them and were like, hey, what if we made these robots have personalities and like made them matter? And so they took like D3 Volkswagen number X4325 and made him the like punky scout Bumblebee, or red truck D7 number whatever. Like, I'm obviously making up the names here, and made that into the stoic Optimus Prime. Like, they transformed it. For lack of a
Is
better
that
word.
why Megatron was NB1 in this movie? Is that like an Easter egg that you're supposed to pick up on? I would assume it's probably
a reference to it. Yeah, that wasn't because I remember I was watching a video about this earlier today, like trying to gather fun facts.
Yeah.
And they mentioned what Megatron's name was, but it wasn't that. I just can't remember what it was. And he also started as a gun.
Just to say, Miller, how do you feel about Megatron not being a gun in this?
Okay with it. I mean, I get it.
He's a plane. I think that's too close to Starscream. That's my opinion. I wish that he just was.
I mean, Starscream wasn't a character in this movie, so it doesn't matter.
But they're both planes, and that gets confusing when they're both gray planes.
Okay,
it really doesn't, because Starscream's an F-22, and Megatron is very obviously not of Earth.
Yeah,
he has 8 wings, dude. What the fuck are you talking about? It's easy to get them confused if you're an idiot.
When it's fast moving and transforming in 2 seconds, yeah, it can get a little confusing. I just love that fucking Starscream looks like a fucking Dorito. So
they get Starscream confused with their F-22 Raptors. That's the whole point. Megatron, like Geek said, looks like a fucking alien ship.
Yeah, nobody got him confused.
Yeah,
except for you, apparently. You should get that checked.
It's a good thing you weren't in the military.
Yeah, dude.
Well, that's the thing. My colors, when they move fast, I can't really see them well. That's why I like bright, bold colors when I watch things. Like Power Rangers was super big for me because I can tell what the fuck's happening, because it's like, oh, there's a Red Ranger.
Right. No, I get that.
Okay.
But yeah, no, that's one of the decisions they made, like design wise. I'm not mad at. I think that's fine. Like, that makes sense because you gotta, like, this Megatron crash landed on Earth and then was frozen. It's not like he had time to do anything, and it's not. Plus, I thought it was weird because like there's scenes in the '80s animated show. I can't speak on the comics. I don't know a lot about the comics, but like in the '80s animated show, when he's a gun, that he'll just like transform, and then Starscream will use him to shoot people. And that wouldn't have fit in this movie. That wouldn't have made sense.
That would have been so funny though.
It would have been hilarious, but no, that's like my big complaint with this movie, other than the human thing. Like my bigger complaint, my actual problem is Michael Bay took all the whimsy out of Transformers.
Yeah.
And like I get it, it was the mid 2000s. You wanted to do the whole gritty, dark realism thing.
I was gonna say
fine.
Michael Bay is the Schneider of the Transformers movie.
And I will say
movies.
he didn't do it as bad as like Zack Snyder does to DC. Like this is actually redeemable. This is a good interpretation of like what gritty Transformers would be. This movie, not the other ones, just this one. But like taking the whimsy out of Transformers is crazy. Because we're talking about the same show that had like Optimus Prime dunking a basketball and shit in the 80s. Like
Godzilla dunked on Shaq. Not Shaq, Charles Barkley. Wrong.
Yeah, he did dunk on Charles Barkley.
I want to be dunking.
Grayson, why were you raising your hand?
Well, I was gonna go all fucking like cinephile on your guys' ass. The reason why a lot of these movies are dark and gritty, especially in the mid 2000s, because it's a response to 9/11. Apparently, American propaganda wanted to get dark and gritty because they wanted to like show how the state of the world was. That's why Batman's so like realistic in the mid 2000s with the Dark Knight trilogy.
And that's why I hate this movie, because it's just an ad for the American military, and it makes me want to kill myself.
Dude, is.
No, it's so much of an ad. I hate the fucking quote where the dude goes, yeah, my ridiculous government salary. It's like, fucking shoot this guy. And whoever wrote that fucking line. He's just trying to convince people to join the government. Fuck you. Yes. Fuck this movie. Fuck Michael Bay for letting the American military be a major part of it. Fuck that. This movie, if the American military doesn't exist in it, like at all, other than kind of being the bad guy as Sector 7, and the only humans that actually matter are Sam and Michaela, movie's great. But this movie is more about the shitty American military than it is the Transformers. And yes, I will say shitty. Did you watch the fucking movie? Why are they so bad at everything?
What? I want to say, this is a point I wanted to make when I was talking about why I don't care about the humans in this movie, but I had such a deep feeling that this was the thing that you were pissed about that I was like, I'm not.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
And it's so funny too, because it's a shitty ad for the US military.
It is. It's a horrible ad for it.
Because it's like, hey guys, listen, Sector 7 sucks. Bunch of dicks. The head of Sector 7, the most unlikable prick on the planet. Also, all of the bad guys look like us. Like the tank that you're about to go up against, and the fucking F-22 Raptor that looks like one of our guys, and the fucking whatever Bone Crusher is, the weird like hook vehicle thing. Yeah, they look like our things. Oh, and the attack helicopter, like literally everything.
Dude, Black Hawk is fucking. I'm sorry, Black Hawk is dope.
Yeah. That's the one problem. All the Decepticons have way cooler designs most of the time.
And like that fits, because that's traditionally what traditionally Autobots are like service vehicles, recreational vehicles. Yeah. Decepticons are like military vehicles and things that are more like attack oriented. Yeah. Where the Autobots are more support oriented. But it's really funny to go, yes, military propaganda where all the bad guys look like what we want to push.
Yeah, dude.
So this movie came out when I was 5 years old. It came out in 2007. I was 5. And the scene in the desert where they're the scorpion thing. I don't know what the fuck his name is.
Scorponok.
Is that really a fucking name? Yes. That's a fucking horrible name.
He's goated, dude.
He is. That design and that whole scene, awesome. But I remember as a kid, I'd be like, I never want to work for the military because I don't want to get killed by a fucking robot scorpion.
So fair, though.
I was like, fuck that. Like, especially that one guy who got stabbed to the back and dragged under. No, fuck that shit, bro. I was like, I ain't about that life.
Yeah.
So fair.
That's the whole reason I never wanted to be in the military as a kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, also the entire military base getting taken out by one robot. Especially when we find out, especially when we find out later that like our weapons can actually do things to them. We can kill them. It's like, so you're just bad. Like, you're just bad. Specifically, our military is just bad.
Oh my god!
In the military propaganda movie, they just get the shit kicked out of them constantly.
And even like the police, because they break down the hacker's house, and that seems hilarious, but also shows the ineptitude of our police force. So Michael Bay kind of silently based.
That's not even the worst instance of the police force. The worst is when they're interrogating Sam and they're like, "Are you on drugs? Take a piss test." And the guy gets up in his face like with his gun out like, "Do something. do something.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
like, are you on drugs? Like, they made the military look bad, they made the cops look bad, they made the government look bad. The only like competent member of any of the like powerful organizations was the I forget her name because I don't know if they ever say it in the movie, but the tech intern who figures everything out.
Yep.
And then the Secretary of Defense.
Who is that actor?
And Josh Duhamel in the as like one of the soldiers.
Yeah. And then I only know him as Tyrese, but Tyrese from Fast and the Furious. No, but I love him.
Fair. John Voight. I couldn't remember his name either. John Voight's the Secretary of Defense.
He might be like my favorite actor when it comes to playing competent government officials.
Yeah. What else is he in?
I can only remember the one, and at least I think. Yeah, he plays FDR in Pearl Harbor. And love that.
Yeah.
I don't know what else he's done. I'm sure there's other things, but like it's the only time you see him as a government official and you're like, the one guy who's going to know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Or if he doesn't, he's not going to be an idiot about it. Good.
Yeah. And I will say
Maggie.
Maggie, okay. Yeah. But I will say too, to the point of like the whole military propaganda thing, it would have been much more successful for them if they just pulled Sector 7 out of it and they were like, okay, we've got this one platoon of troops that's like 8 dudes that have handled them firsthand and are going to be back up to Sam. And you get like the Josh Duhamel whole like has a baby and a wife at home thing. Like if you would have just done that and been like, hoorah, military, these 8 guys, these 8 brave American troops saved the day. Like that would have been great. You get the American government involved and it's a fucking mess and it sucks. It's almost like it's real life.
True.
God, if any like super American people watch this, gonna hate us.
Fuck them. Genuinely, fuck them. Also, fuck you. Moving back a second though, his wife, the one guy's wife that we see like twice, is Sam and Dean's mom from Supernatural.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When I first saw that, I got very confused. Like I saw her like when he's talking to her on FaceTime or whatever. It's not actually FaceTime, but fuck off.
Like, would it have been Skype in 07?
What?
Yeah.
Would it have been
Skype
definitely in 07?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely been Skype.
I didn't know if Skype
Shout out
was, like,
Skype for like being the reason most of what modern communication exists. And fuck you, Microsoft, for constantly developing the coolest tech ever and then letting it rot and killing it eventually. Fuck you.
And then they have teams that suck more. I don't want to talk about it.
Microsoft sucks, dude. They're so good at everything, but also the worst at everything.
Yeah.
I hate them.
They're the Steelers. They're the Steelers of the tech world.
Damn.
They'll play another competition.
I was going to say, so if we have any Steelers fans, red-blooded Americans, or Microsoft employees in the audience, they have unsubscribed.
No, the Microsoft employees agree with me. The employees are doing their job really well. It's the executives that just don't understand how to exist.
Is Gates still trucking?
I think so, but I don't think he actually.
So he's unsubscribed.
I don't think he has a hand in Microsoft anymore.
Gotcha.
He probably agrees with me.
I was gonna say, I know nothing about tech.
He's collecting his check, dude.
Google also sucks for nearly the same reasons. This weird thing of developing good products and then destroying them immediately. Or even if they're not good, just Google Stadia existed for 6 months. They're like, we're going to do a cloud gaming service. You just play video games in the cloud. Oh, never mind. Fuck you. This was stupid. It's like, or just fix it. Work. Do something, please.
No, let's put AI as our first thing we show up on.
I hate it.
This tells the worries about AI when.
Yes,
Megatron. If you guys aren't careful, ChatGPT is gonna develop into Frenzy, the little fucking.
I was supposed to say it's gonna be Frenzy. That's why I imagine ChatGPT. Like if I had to put ChatGPT into a
problem is
body,
they'll kill us, not the people who use ChatGPT. They'll kill us for talking shit on it.
Right.
You guys need to be careful so we don't die for talking.
The U.S. government just bought ChatGPT, so it's the same group.
Say what?
That's
the U.S. government just bought a huge contract from ChatGPT.
Having a contract does not mean they own it. That's not how that works.
It was something of the sort. It was a contract, or it was them owning it.
Actually, better than what I thought, but still not good.
Oh, right. Saying they like sold ChatGPT to the government is much different.
Yeah,
and much worse.
Yeah,
it is.
No, it's still owned by the same people. They just have a shitty government contract. But I'm gonna tell you right now, every company has government contracts. Yeah. Every good thing that has happened in this world is because a company had a government contract where they were focused on killing people, but they could also work on this really cool thing. That's literally why the washing machine got invented.
I was gonna say, that's why the washing machine's so good. HE, right?
GE.
They make the Gatling gun.
GE. Why do you keep saying HG? It's GE. General Electric.
Oh, sorry. General Electric. Yeah, they made a gun that rotates, and
they make the gun for the A10 Warthog. The most powerful gun ever made is made by a company who makes really shitty dryers.
Bro's got a vendetta against their dryers.
Yeah, I don't really want to get into that, but it took me 8 hours to dry 14 hours to dry my clothes the other night because my dryer doesn't fucking work because it's designed poorly. In the most obvious designed poorly way anything's ever been done. And it drove me nuts. It's like this. It doesn't even make sense. So it's because the vent, like to vent all the heat out, is on the front of the washing machine, like pressed up against the front. So when your stuff is drying, it'll block the vent and cause the dryer to turn off every 5 fucking minutes. Here's a thought. Put the vent. Why is it on the front, first of all, especially when the tube to vent it out runs out the back of the dryer? Put the vent at the back of the fucking thing, or preferably at the top where nothing can ever block it, and then just vent it out the back. I don't know why you ran it an extra 10 feet to just put it in the worst position possible because you're fucking stupid. Not often do I think the engineers who work on things are idiots. In that case, yes, you're an idiot. You are the dumbest person.
Is that dryer better or worse than the Decepticon Mountain Dew machine?
The what? Oh, the Mountain Dew. Oh, the
Mountain Dew Decepticon.
No, that was sick.
That
was sick.
Okay. I just didn't know what word you said.
Yeah, no, I didn't either.
You said the Mount of Doom almost.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
That should be his name.
Yes, the Mount of Doom.
No, I mean, obviously the little shit like that is just like, look, toy, buy.
Pretty much.
But like, it was still cool.
But also it made sense. Cool. The Allspark creating Decepticons made sense.
No, but it's like, there's only one worse product placement in Transformers. It's a Bud Light in the fucking 4th one, where he like literally cracks open a Bud Light in the middle of the fucking action. But like that's like the only one I can think of as being like.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even notice it was a Mountain Dew machine.
Oh, okay. I did only because I remembered it. As soon as I saw it was green, I was like, "Yo!"
I didn't even know it was a drink machine.
What do you think it was?
I don't know. Like I genuinely didn't know what it was.
It was a vending machine.
I also thought it could have been an ATM. It could have been. There's a lot of things that are green out there. There's those weird like charity donation bins, like where you can drop off clothes and shit. Yes, it is, because it has to be able to take payment and stuff. Therefore, it's a machine, or not take payment, but a lot of these things still collect a bunch of information and a bunch of weird shit. Not that people use it. Should have been a red box.
Real. Those went out of business like a year ago.
Aren't vending machines out of business at this point? When's the last time you saw a vending machine?
I go to work and I see a vending machine every day.
Crazy. The last vending machine I saw was at the airport, and it's a Best Buy vending machine.
A Best Buy vending?
Yeah, that's the thing.
How does that work?
They have tech products. You buy tech out of the vending machine.
Word up.
Like hundreds of dollars of tech products?
Yeah, dude, they got vending machines for everything. Over in Japan, you can buy like big ass.
Oh yeah,
Legos
Japan.
Yeah, but Japan's cool.
Like
so
yeah. No, they got vending machines for anything.
Random tangent. I see a lot of people, like a lot of like women on like TikTok, be like, "Why are men so obsessed with going to Japan?" It's because everything we like is over there.
Because they did everything way better than we do. Everything.
Yeah.
It's not because we're all weird fucking anime like.
There definitely are a lot of them.
there is a lot
For
of
me,
those.
it's more fun because it's like you want to go to Japan, but you've never seen an anime. It's like, yeah, that's not why I want to go to Japan.
Because there's just weird shit there that you're like that's cool as fuck.
Dude, I want to go to a tech mall so fucking bad.
Dude, all I want to see
So
is the
bad.
fucking Godzilla on top of the fucking hotel. I don't give a shit. That's all I want.
So what I'm hearing is we need to plan a trip to Tokyo.
Oh yeah.
The three of us in Tokyo. That'll be interesting for sure.
Bring Jake along. I want to see what happens.
I think Jake would have a great time.
Yeah, dude. Actually, I think everyone would. There's so
No,
much cool shit in Japan.
Jake's the one person in our group. I'm like, if someone's not going to understand anything in Japan, it's going to be Jake.
Yeah, but
I don't think he'd understand it, but he'd just roll with the vibe.
Yeah.
He's just chilling, man.
Fun.
That's why I want to see what happens when we just let Jake run around in Japan.
I guarantee halfway through he'd be like, I don't know what any of this stuff is, but I like it.
Yeah.
But back to the movie.
Right, Transformers.
Yeah. I know you guys don't want to talk about it, but I was told that's why I was here, so I got all excited to talk about it.
No, yeah, that's.
I will say, a compliment that I want to give this movie is out of the Bayverse Transformers movies, this is the only one that does Optimus Prime correctly. All of the other ones butcher him horribly. Because Optimus Prime, Geek, do you know, I'm asking this genuinely, outside of watching this movie, do you know anything? Okay, so Peter Cullen, the guy who has voiced Optimus Prime since the 80s for 40 years, the GOAT.
Till now, because now it's Hemsworth.
Well, he did one movie.
I know.
Peter Cullen's still the GOAT. He talks about when he went to audition for Optimus Prime, right? Because he based Optimus Prime's voice off of his older brother, who was I want to say Marine. He served in some way. And his brother made fun of him at first because he was like, "Oh, what are you going to audition for?" And he said, "Oh, I'm going to be a truck, but it's a leader truck." And his brother was like, "Oh, okay. Well, if you're going to be a leader, don't be the corny action movie hero type of leader. Be the leader who is strong enough to be gentle." And I want to say the rest of the quote is strong enough to be gentle, but knows when to be firm, or something to that degree. Basically saying to be like, you know, a leader with a heart, a leader with personality, a leader who, you know, is there for the people he leads more so than just commanding them. And in this movie, Optimus has a little bit of that with the humans specifically, the way he's like throwing himself all over the place for Sam, not for the Allspark. Because like when Sam gets blasted off the building, he doesn't yell the Allspark, he yells Sam, and he dives for Sam. Or like when Sam and Michaela fall when they're in the whatever it's called, what's that thing called? Bridge? It's in GTA and it's in LA for real.
Oh yeah, I don't.
But you know what I mean, like the big drain looking thing.
Yeah.
When they're there and they start to fall, his reaction is to like try to pick them up with his feet. Or he's the one when Sector 7 shows up with their reinforcements, he picks them up and runs while everyone else drives away and gets away quicker. Like they do that stuff well with Optimus. Whereas in the other movies, he becomes a lot more of like the stereotypical action hero, like literally throwing out one-liners left and right. Like when he kills the Fallen in the second movie, he yells, "Give me your face!" Or like, there's like a big battle in Chicago in one of the later movies, and Optimus shows up at the end and pumps a fucking Transformer shotgun and goes, "We'll kill them all." Like that's not Optimus Prime. He's like the gentle giant, basically. Now, granted, he does brutalize Bone Crusher in this movie, but it's like a justified brutalization. Yeah. Whereas
you can still be a good guy and a good leader, but murder, it's right. Murder's justified sometimes.
Murder can be justified, but there's like murder in war, and then there's like brutalizing. There's aura farming when you're trying to get a kill. Prime is not an aura farmer. But they make him into that in the later Bay movies. This one, they stray away from that. And I'm very grateful for that, because I was worried going into this. I was like, I couldn't remember which movie it started in, but it's the beginning of Revenge of the Fallen when they go after Devastator in Japan, ironically. He's like hiding out. They fight off this like construction vehicle. They knock him down, and Prime walks up to him and fucking executes him. Like he's defeated, he's done, and Prime just shoots him in the head. Like that's not my GOAT.
Right.
That's not what he does. But this movie, they did it well, and I was happy. Although I will say the most, like, we've been talking about the dialogue in this movie, when they hand him Jazz's corpse and he goes, "Oh, Jazz."
They really hate Jazz in this fucking movie.
Hey, no, he says, we lost a good comrade or something. He calls him a comrade for some reason.
Who cared about him? Well, it's the movie.
He says 7 words. I'm sorry, I don't know if I would have cared if anyone other than B or Prime died. Like, none of them
I care he died in the third one.
Well, yeah, in the third one, when he gets character development, you don't care in this fucking movie where you never see him. Right.
That was my whole point earlier with the humans. The robots don't get character development.
That's fair. I think that can be fixed while still having, like...
Sure, absolutely.
I think there are some humans that need removed from this movie. Too many humans.
Yeah. And that's my point was more about the volume. Like, give Sam and Michaela their character moments and give Josh Duhamel and the little military guys their moments.
Just remove all of the other government-y bullshit and give that all to the Transformers and build some rapport.
Oh, and then the hackers as well. They can stay. Like, give them their shit to be.
They were there for like 7 seconds anyways. Who cares?
Right. I was gonna. That's kind of my point. Like, they don't have enough to justify cutting it. But
don't eat the donuts. I'm gonna eat them all.
Okay, that was fucking.
I was. Speaking of Ironhide, though, real quick, Grayson, did you? I don't know if this is intentional foreshadowing, but did you see they foreshadowed how he dies in the third one in this movie?
No, I was saying I care about if like Ironhide died.
I'm saying did you see they foreshadowed it?
No,
because I have never caught that before until watching it this time. So in the third movie, Geek for reference, there's a character called Sentinel Prime who was Optimus's like mentor, and he turns on the Autobots because he believes the Decepticons have a better plan to bring back Cybertron. Because he's like, you guys care too much about these humans and Earth. You've lost your way.
What a
So in response, he turns on the Autobots and specifically shoots Ironhide with a rust cannon, and he rusts to death. In this movie, Mojo pisses on his foot. And he goes, "Oh, it's gonna rust." I don't know if that was intentional or not. I don't know how far Michael Bay thinks ahead of things. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not giving him that credit. But that is an insane coincidence.
To me, that seems like the type of thing that would be a callback, but not that he's set up in this movie. It's he's planning now. He's writing the third one. All right, we're going to kill Ironhide. And then he like remembered that stupid joke. And he's like, it would be really fucking funny.
Right. Yeah. Like
it wasn't like an intentional setup in this movie. It was a callback, I think, more than a setup.
Yeah. No,
that's definitely what Lucas did for that Return of the Jedi scene, Geek, that you keep mentioning about when Luke jumps up to the higher thing and Vader's staring at him.
Yeah, George Lucas didn't have the high ground thing planned out then, but Luke being up there and Vader going, "Obi-Wan has taught you well," is like he totally made the high ground thing in Revenge of the Sith because of that. Yeah. Like it wasn't planned then, but it was because of that, for sure.
Yeah.
But no, I did not get the Mojo pissing on Ironhide being
which is crazy.
Oh, it's gonna rust. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
I kind of remember Sentinel Prime and that a little bit, but not much. Now that you brought it up, I remember it a little bit.
Not a good Transformers movie.
I love this movie because it has so many. I know that a lot of things like we talked about, like John Turturro in Sector 7, so like an add-on that we did not need, but him being in this movie and the Sam's parents and like the whole like grouping of these weird characters that aren't like normal people, like you could just easily just add in like stereotypical mom and dad, but they decided to make these out of fucking like over the top characters. I really love it. They add an actual level to the movie that's more enjoyable. Maybe not. They don't make the movie better. They make the movie more enjoyable though.
Yeah, you know what would have been better than doing that with Sam's parents and random government agent?
The Autobots.
It would be really cool if you did that with the Autobots. Yeah, just have even something little, like obviously we get our little introduction in the alleyway where everyone gets like a line to kind of tell you like, "Oh, Ironhide, you feeling lucky, punk, he's the badass. Ratchet, he's talking medical terms, he must be the medic." Like shit like that. Like just give me a little bit more of that.
Yeah.
Like I know Ironhide, he flashes his cannons every 5 minutes, but like he's gotta have more to his character than gun. I have gun.
No, he's got
Ironhide's
gun.
He's cool. Like I don't know, have him mention like the war or some shit. Turn him into like, you know, have him like have a moment with the soldiers where he's like, you all fight well. You know, I once fought in a war, and like something like that. Or have Jazz like, you know, given the way the movie went and how they characterized him, just have him talk to the soldiers and be like, you guys like rap music? Like, I know that would be so awkward. Like, obviously you would do it better than that. But, you know, just anything. Mm-hmm. Or like have a human like get shot and Ratchet be like, I don't think I know how to repair that one, but I could take a look. Like literally anything to make them something other than, oh yes, big robot shooty good.
Yeah.
Like,
you want to judge Grayson for a second?
Oh shit!
Always.
Okay. Grayson, what kind of vehicle is Optimus?
He's a semi-truck.
Oh my god, he learned after I corrected him the other day. I'm upset.
What did he call him beforehand?
He used to, every time he would bring up a semi-truck, he would only say Mack truck, which pissed me off because that's an individual brand. He was like every person in the South saying Coke when they mean fucking soda. Not
He's
cola, just soda. Give me a Coke and you bring him a Mountain Dew and they say thanks as if that's what they meant. Because in Grayson's head, it was, and I wanted to make fun of him.
Max semi-truck though?
No, he's a Freightliner.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because
I don't know enough about trucks
so
to know.
We were having this argument and I looked it up and like out of the most popular brands, Mac's not even like in the top 10.
Yeah.
I will say I think Mack truck when I think of semi trucks as well, but it's not because of anything
Cars.
It's because of Mack from Cars.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That's probably why I was thinking.
And I probably, when I was little, would have called them Mack trucks because Mack was the first one that came to mind.
Sure.
But like
being a full-grown adult, it's like calling Coke, or it's like saying, what kind of car do you drive? Like every car just being a Ford or a Tesla or whatever dumbass brand you associate it with. Mm-hmm. It's just gross. And I wanted to make more fun of him, but he learned. I yelled at him and he learned. This is bad strategy for you because now I'd know just to keep yelling at you. Stuff will stick.
It's just because it's like, you're like, what kind of truck is he?
No, I said, what kind of vehicle is he?
Yeah.
I specifically worded it.
You didn't ask for the brand or whatever it's called.
Well, no, but that's because when you literally just called a random semi a Mack truck. It wasn't even a Mack. Yeah. It was very obviously not a Mack.
What movie was that on about?
I don't remember.
Fantastic Four?
Yes, it was Fantastic Four.
Because he stopped. Yeah, because he stops it.
I can't believe Grayson got more character development in this episode than Jazz did.
True.
That's insane.
I am a better writer than Michael Bay is what we've learned. Let's go.
I will say, one of the reasons, like not to defend Michael Bay ever, but I think one of the reasons why Jazz doesn't matter in this movie, and maybe I'm giving him a little bit too much credit, is because originally it wasn't supposed to be Jazz. It was supposed to be another Autobot called Prowl, but he was a cop car. And they didn't want to do that because they had Barricade as the badass cop car.
Speaking on the designs, and I'm going off here to think, Barricade, Blackhawk, like those are the ones I remember because they're so fucking cool and menacing. Like Blackhawk.
Blackhawk.
It's Blackhawk, right?
He is a Blackhawk helicopter, but his name
Blackout.
is Blackout.
It's Blackout.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I'm so sorry.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna be really upset if they just named the character the shitty military vehicle.
No, it's Blackout.
Yeah, that's on me. I'll admit to that one. But like they have such cool designs and they're so menacing. It's like they're fucking dope as hell. And I remember like it's like that thing when you're a kid, it's like the cooler ones you always go for, and then you realize they're actually Nazi. Like the Sith, they're cool. They wear black, they have red lightsabers, it's cool contrasting colors. Darth Vader has this cool fucking outfit. You're like, this is dope, and then you realize that's a Nazi. And then you're like, oh, the fucking Decepticons are cool. They have these dope designs. They're cool, edgy, like, nope, still Nazis. So,
see, I was never like that as a kid. I always preferred the good guys, just
in
general.
Seem that way. I still prefer the, like, I don't want to say middle ground characters, but either way, the character that is a piece of shit that becomes good, or is good then becomes a piece of shit. I just prefer those characters.
He likes his Han Solos.
Yeah. Or Anakin, or like that type of character.
Yeah,
or just a really good villain, like where the reason they're a villain makes sense. Like Thanos in the MCU, love him. Like a shitty person, but also like you can see why he got like the thought process makes sense. It's not just I murder. It's no, in his brain, he's the good guy. He is saving the universe. The worst possible way. But like I like a nuanced character. Fuck this, I'm good or I'm bad. That's dumb.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, but that's my brain.
I mean, that's fair. I will say though, like on the topic of the Decepticons and more specifically the characters, I hate how they're even less of characters than the Autobots because the Decepticons, like they also are a gaggle of little freaks. Like first of all, the characters they picked for this movie, weird, really weird. Like I don't know how. I think at least Bone Crusher is original to this movie, but like Megatron, Starscream, 100%. Starscream is not Starscream in this movie, which sucks because he's like such a cool character. His whole bit is he's like the conniving, scheming little second in command that every 5 minutes is like, all right, I'm going to overthrow you, Megatron, then I will lead the Decepticons to glory. And this one, he's just like, yes, sir, Mr. Megatron, sir.
Like also, he doesn't. Hugo Weaving in this movie as Megatron, dope ass voice. Sorry,
yeah, incredible. You know who it was before Hugo Weaving?
No, but it's definitely a famous guy. I'm
fucking Frank Miller.
That makes sense.
Yeah, like Megatron, they always knock his voice casting out of the park. Is it Brian Tyree Henry? Is that how you, is that his name? Yes. I know it's he's incredible in Transformers 1 as well. Like Megatron has never had a bad voice actor. But yeah, like the Decepticons in this movie, they're so boring, and they look cool, but
aura. They have the aura.
Oh, I know, aura, hype moments and aura, hype moments and aura. Where's the fucking hype moments and story beats? Where's the story?
You're right.
Where's the character development? Like, I don't know. I hate. I know we joke about it all the time, but I hate that we live in a hype moments and aura culture.
Fair. Is that why you hate Tarnath? Even though he cares about story, he just also is the hype moment.
No, you can have both. You can easily do story plus hype moments and aura.
Sorry, you brought combat. Now I have to have aura. Them's the rules.
Right, that's fine. That's
and
fine.
then we use the aura later. You guys didn't murder rooms full of demons for no reason. It's like, oh yeah. Yeah, I did actually.
Right. That's fine. That's cool. There's build up there. Yeah. In this movie, it's just like, obviously you get their plan. They're trying to get Megatron back. Sure. Who are these characters? Who are these Decepticons?
Dude, they don't speak ever.
No, they don't.
They speak Cybertronian.
Barricade interrogates Sam in the funniest way possible.
Well, that is funny. I'll give them that. Like, again, another raving review of The Police, where the police car pins a man to the hood and starts screaming in his face.
About his username on the internet. Are you Ladies Man 217? I'm gonna go create a Twitter account called Ladies Man 217.
I guarantee someone else
exists.
All right, we're looking it up.
It might be Sam.
It'd be so funny.
But yeah, no, it's just
it is somebody whose name is Sam.
Unfortunate.
Oh, it's such a loser. Apparently, it only started to exist in December of 2024.
That's crazy.
The guy who owns that account, and there are no tweets, but the profile picture is just of Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like, I'm trying to remember if any of the movies give the Decepticons like notable development. I know as it goes on, you get more scenes of like Megatron pissing around with his minions, but that's what the Decepticons always just feel like is his minions. Like, I know, Grayson, I was telling you earlier in DMs, they butcher Shockwave, which sucks because Shockwave is such a cool villain. Geek, you'll appreciate this. Shockwave, his bit as a Transformer is he's like a Decepticon scientist, I guess you would call him. I don't know if they have a proper name for it. But he altered his brain, or whatever they would call them, so he can't feel emotion. That way he can remove himself from his testing. And he can like full on do testing on living, breathing Cybertronians and like alter them. Like in the comics, he takes RC and changes her gender. RC starts out as a dude and he forcibly turns her into a woman. Or vice versa. I'm pretty sure it starts as dude becomes a woman. But like,
the point is, Transformers. Let's go.
Yeah, like he actually does crazy shit, and his whole bit is he's too far. He's like an allegory for like the crazy Nazi scientists.
Yeah.
In Transformers, whichever one it is, Dark of the Moon, I think, he's just the guy who controls a big robot worm. That's his whole bit. He's got big robo worm, and he makes it go whoosh.
He is so cool.
I mean, it's again hype moments in aura. He aura farms.
Is Grayson into that stupid anime you were complaining about the other day? Is Grayson into that anime? Whatever the one you were talking about that is only aura moments.
Solo leveling?
Yeah. Are you into that one?
That's my laundry anime.
It's right. You do watch Solo Leveling. Because Sam bullies me for it all the time. Yeah,
it's my laundry anime. It's the one I watch when I'm not paying attention.
Uh-huh.
Dude, at least have some class with the shows you watch when you're not paying attention.
Okay, well,
watch Friends or American Dad like a real guy.
You've seen Friends as an example for quality television.
I didn't say quality television. I said for putting on in the background while you're doing other things.
I give you that. I'm not here out. I'm not going to defend Solo Leveling. It is definitely aura and night moment. It's just something I watch when I need to fucking throw something on.
Garbage.
But yeah, like I don't know. I hate that that's what the Michael Bay movies turned the Transformers into, especially Prime. I mean, I could go on and on and on about Prime. Like, I get that he's supposed to be essentially a military leader on a foreign planet where, you know, his back gets put to the wall and he has to make extreme decisions. But in no world should Optimus Prime, thankfully again, not in this movie, be spouting off one-liners and ripping dudes' faces off. Like, or executing prisoners of war. Like, that's not him at all. And it all makes sense because Michael Bay, like, turned down this movie originally. Was like, oh, it's just a stupid toy grab. And then eventually was like, you know what? I'm going to make a Transformers movie for people like me who don't know Transformers. And that's, I mean, that's what this is, obviously. You would like it a lot more if you're not like me and have watched other Transformers. Because you watch this, it's awesome. The second you watch another Transformers property, it's like, wow, they got everything wrong.
Miller, I don't know if we're close to wrapping, but the most important thing is before we hit Lincoln Park and everything like that, who gives the better speeches, Captain America or Optimus Prime?
I'll die on the hill that it's Optimus.
In the movies, it's easily Cap. Don't care.
Sure.
Yeah, like in the main movies, like this, because this is really the only main movie series is the Bayverse. So if you go Bayverse versus MCU, it's easily Cap.
Sure. But I think
I can't speak on the shows. So
I mean, I'm literally wearing the Cap shirt. Cap's my goat. Yeah, no, I would take Optimus. I think Optimus just across the board is a better leader. And that's not even a shot at Cap. It's just like Optimus is just that fucking guy.
Nah, plant yourself a tree. Plant yourself a tree. I fucked up the quote. I missed a whole word. It's plant yourself like a tree and tell them no, you moved. That's better. Don't care. Also, what is the Civil War? The Civil War freedom speech is just.
Well, no, it's incredible.
Next level.
But yeah, I'm saying if like sure, MC versus Bayverse, absolutely. Because again, this is not.
That's all I can speak on. Is that,
no, I know, but I'm just trying to like make it clear that I'm not saying this Optimus Prime. I'm saying in general, Optimus Prime I think is a better leader across the board. So if you want to see good Optimus Prime, the War for Cybertron trilogy on Netflix is really accessible and really good, and it shows his growth. Transformers Animated's great.
I hate Transformers 1 got a good Netflix adaptation, and Godzilla didn't. Godzilla's 3 movies fucking suck.
Peak though is Transformers 1986, the movie.
But it's from the 80s.
I know, but listen, people talk about this movie with Lincoln Park, like the end moment. It has nothing on the end of that movie when I forget the name of the song, but it's the "You Got the Touch," and then it's him mowing down Decepticons after he gets brought back to life. Holy, that's hype moments in aura, and he doesn't even have to do anything crazy. He's just fucking blasting them. That's the other thing too. Optimus didn't use his blaster enough in this movie. I hate the fucking Cybertronian sword shit.
I'd say it is aura, and the third one he has just the sword and the jetpack, whatever it was.
That's the second one where he gets Jetfire to sacrifice his existence to make him like the armor and shit, right?
remember the third one.
That guy's supposed to be a good leader. He just demanded his friend kill himself and become his armor. No, I don't know. Piece of shit.
Optimus.
No. Jetfire was an old ass Decepticon.
Yes.
Who was like, they brought him back to life because he was in stasis in the Smithsonian, and he was basically like, "Oh, you guys are still fucking fighting over this shit. This is stupid. Decepticons are fucking stupid. I want to die anyways. Make me into Prime." And he like literally walks up to Prime and he's like, "I got you," and rips out his spark and then turns himself into a jetpack and armor and shit for Optimus.
Just to say, I think the opening in 3 is the Chernobyl scene where he's got the trailer, and then he basically suits up to the trailer.
Yeah,
so that's what I'm like thinking.
Now.
Or
shit
with the sword.
Yeah. And then, I just want to say real quick, one more thing about the shitty last 2 movies. Have you seen how sleek they make Optimus's design?
Where like you can't see any of in the last 2 movies.
No, the last 2 they get rid of all the truck parts. My point is like it looks bad. He looks too fluid. There's no truck parts. Like I think you get his smokestacks, and then the rest is just like almost human looking, and I hate it. I hate it. If Optimus doesn't have his big fucking truck windows here as his man tits, then he's not designed right.
Geek, you want truck man tits?
What?
He's gotta have his windows like this. He's gotta have his fucking windows. If he doesn't have his windows, it's not a good design.
Well, you can't do a modern design like that, though.
No, they did it in 07. Not literally to a T, but you have the windows like they're over his chest.
Were they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they also do it in the last 2 actual Transformers movies, The Rise of the Beast and Bumblebee. They have the Gen 1 design.
Yeah, which is peak Optimus. I think the designs in this movie rock. Like, this is my favorite Ironhide, my favorite Bumblebee, but Optimus forever and always Gen 1.
You don't like Volkswagen Bumblebee?
I love Volkswagen Bumblebee. This is just I have a sentimental attachment to it because I grew up on it. And B was my favorite when I was little. Him and Ironhide, because my dad drove a big truck. Not the same type of truck, but I was just like, oh, truck, dad, truck.
Fair I used to think the American flag was the NFL.
True. I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Genuinely, at this point, the NFL should change the colors of the shield.
To what?
Anything. That's not
blue,
what it is.
Orange, and white.
No.
True.
No, go goofy with it. Do like black, neon pink, and neon green.
The 90s called?
Yeah.
Just fuck it, Miami Vice NFL.
Yes, let's go.
Anyways, anything else you guys want to chat about Transformers? Geek? I know you were a little sidelined by...
No, that's fine. That's why that was the point.
Well, yeah, I know I was talking about Transformers being like, I like this movie, you like this movie.
Well, no, like I would have had the rant about the military thing, but like there's a lot more that we got. Basically, the thing here is a me and Grayson episode would have been 45 minutes. Instead, we're at 1:20. That's the difference here.
I like it, the robot.
Yeah, there you go. As you should. We're good. I don't know. I don't know enough about Transformers. I don't know if this movie really makes me want to care that much.
I promise you it goes uphill. Not in this trilogy, but elsewhere it goes uphill. Have you seen Transformers 1?
He definitely hasn't.
Geek.
No.
Watch it.
No.
That's a good movie.
I'm in the opinion that it's fine.
It's got Hemsworth instead of Cullen. No.
Okay, no, but to be fair, Brian Tyree Henry's development as Megatron in that movie goes crazy.
Peak.
It's like Darth Vader levels of like development.
It is really good. If you want one with Cullen, just watch the one from '86. I mean, it's so good.
So next year we should call you for Revenge of the Fallen, right?
Why?
Yeah. I'll scream.
Deal. Somebody else has to yell on this show other than just me, man.
I would
you
love
yell
to
at me. You'll just yell about the fucking movie.
I just mean we need more people to yell.
Bay. Get in contact with Michael Bay. I'll scream at him. I'll call him a fucking idiot.
Damn.
for what he did. I was gonna say to be fair, that's not true, but that movie was impacted by a writer's strike.
True.
Still shit, but I don't think a writer's strike made much of a difference. But it does have to be acknowledged.
Guys. Anyways, Michaela Bain should have been the main character of these trilogy.
True.
Next week, what the fuck are we talking about next week?
I have no idea.
We're talking about Waiting.
Yeah.
A comedy, which we'll see how that goes.
We struggle reviewing comedy movies. We'll see if this one's, at least this one's set in a restaurant, so I might have things to say that'll be funny.
Yeah, I've experienced those. We can talk about a Waiting with Ryan Reynolds. Until then, remember, like, subscribe, do whatever. Follow Miller on all this. Will be down in the description below. Until then, bye bye.